Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This video updated on Friday the 1st of September. Now I've got the leftovers of various tropical weather systems to thank for the complicated outlook in the week ahead. Some very humid air coming across the country, producing a lot of low cloud and some heavy rain at times, and also some periods of strong winds giving upland gales. Now later in the week, somewhat fresher air comes in, but a rather mobile, changeable Atlantic weather pattern is looking likely heading towards the following weekend. This chart shows you total accumulated rainfall. This is through until the end of Tuesday. It's fairly coarse in its resolution, so don't take the numbers absolutely literally, but it gives you a feel for where the heaviest falls of rain will be, likely to be out across Wales and southwest England, particularly on Sunday. Some rain, though, moving across the western highlands of Scotland, and expect another batch of rain to come through during Tuesday. Heaviest falls always towards the west, but some rain will reach most places through the day. There's your total rainfall accumulated between Wednesday and the end of Sunday the 10th, and it's west and northwestern mountains that will take the most of the rain as fronts move in on a westerly airstream. So western Scotland particularly in the firing line for some rather wet weather heading towards next weekend. Of course, confidence of absolute day-to-day detail is tricky. Just to look at temperature into next week, a bit of variability in there from day to day. This chart is at 925 millibars. It's one of those constant pressure charts that forecasters use. It's around 700 or 800 metres thereabouts above sea level. This is Monday then, and we've got temperatures at that height around 10 degrees, quite a humid feel, a bit warmer than that over the peaks and Pennines, but where you're in cloud it won't feel that pleasant. Just then a change as the front comes through Monday night and into Tuesday. Fresher air follows from the northwest if the timing is going to plan according to this. So cooler temperatures across Scotland, some of the higher Munros only a few degrees above freezing during Tuesday. Looks like a fresher feel through midweek, but temperatures just lifting a little bit towards the end of the week as southwesterly winds do return. So lifting back towards double figures on some of the hills and mountains, but the higher tops in Scotland may struggle, particularly where rain comes in, and if it's windy, it'll feel colder than that anyway. So a little bit of variability, relatively mild, I suppose, later in the week for many places. Just need to watch if temperatures then fall towards next weekend as cooler westerlies may just return. Let's just run through these charts then just to set the scene for these next few days ahead. Plenty more details, of course, for your 3-day forecast in all the written files here on the website. A fair day overall for Saturday. High pressure building a ridge briefly across the country, but just look what's waiting out in the Atlantic. Various fronts, a lot of humid air trapped within that, and the wind will strengthen from the south by Saturday night, reaching gale force on many western mountains. So a windy day overall for Sunday. The south-southeasterly winds up to gale force at times, 30-40 miles per hour pretty widely on the Scottish Munros, and some strong gusts coming down to low levels, particularly north of major ridges in this pretty stable air mass that's in place. Rain then heaviest across South Wales, Brecon Beacons particularly taking a lot of rain. Patchy rain getting into Snowdonia, very little making it towards the Lake District. May well get away dry most or all day up the Pennines. Some rain for Dumfries and Galloway and the Western Highlands. North and North East Scotland may just escape with not that much. It all leaves a rather humid atmosphere in place as those fronts just edge their way eastwards Sunday night into Monday. So a lot of low cloud, particularly focused on western mountains through Monday. Some outbreaks of rain, heaviest and most persistent across the west and northwest of Scotland. But really just a day where there's poor visibility, low cloud right the way down to low levels, particularly on those western coastal hills and fells. Towards the east, a few breaks may develop, but you'll do well if many higher summits do clear at all. Winds then as southwesterlies that could be locally up to gale force again in the far northwest. Tricky with detail into Tuesday. Don't take this chart absolutely literally, but it's the idea of a front waving across the country, moving eastwards through the day. Some heavy rain is possible almost anywhere. It looks as though the focus for now is England and Wales, but the risk of some of that in Scotland for a time, and fresher air then follows that front from the west. So cloud bases behind the frontal zone in the west and north may just lift and break. Pressure then looks like building from the west into Wednesday, that low having cleared away, the air that bit fresher by this stage. Quite breezy still though, with a west or southwesterly wind, could bring some low cloud onto western Scottish mountains, but for many, cloud bases higher than previous days and some sunny spells coming through. Just moving towards the end of the week, and it looks as though a westerly flow, a changeable, fairly mobile pattern is in place. You've got some strong winds at times in there as low pressure towards Iceland just intensifies somewhat. Some periods of rain coming on to many western mountains too. Some quite heavy falls could well be around. Through Friday into the weekend, if that low does just intensify and get in a bit more strongly, then more of the country could well find itself under strong winds and some heavy falls of rain coming in from the Atlantic. So the risk of being rather unsettled heading through into the weekend. Heaviest falls of rain always on western mountains, the risk of gales pretty widely, but treat the detail at the moment with some caution. A lot of uncertainty in some of the forecast models as we're going that bit further ahead. That's all for today though here at the Mountain Weather Information Service. Thanks for watching and bye for now.